Let's dive straight into it today. Freeze-dried meals, absolutely fantastic, quite balanced calories, taste all right, weigh about 160 grams per packet when you haven't added the boiling water, and they're simple to use. You boil up your water, you open the top of these, pour in your boiling water, 5 to 10 minutes later after a good stir, you've got a lovely meal. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? So what is the problem with them? Now, the problem with these is they are really damn expensive. If you buy breakfast and lunch and dinner for your hiking trip and your backpacking trip in these, that's about 30 quid a day. That's way too expensive, especially when there's other options out there that are as tasty, as good, almost as high in calorie count, and they're cheap. You can get them in any grocery store, in any sort of supermarket where you want to go. And all you got to do is think about things and how you're going to do it. Now, certain things for hiking and backpacking, and when I'm out, are no good. And certain aisles in the supermarket you want to avoid like mad. So your tinned foods, your jarred foods, stuff like that that already have water in, or you're carrying that wet meal. That's going to be too heavy. Might be cheap, but it's going to be too heavy. Now, where you're going to like and where your favourite aisles in the supermarket are going to be is all your dried stuff. So we can go through some options in a minute, but your dried pasta packets, your mashed potatoes, your packet soups, that is all going to help you reduce your weight, keep your costs down, and it's going to give you lovely balanced meals that still taste good. Because if they don't taste good, what's the point? Anyway, I'm going to jump in. I'll start on some different meal types and what I recommend just for your breakfast and for your lunch. Let's get straight on with it. Okay, first and the easiest one to make is one of these pasta packets. Now you can get like spaghetti carbonara, you can get spinach and broccoli, you can get loads of different flavours. They cost about £1.50 or €1.50. And the good thing about these is you can tear off the top, and inside this pouch, it's made of foil. What you can do, and I've actually tested it, boil some water on your stove, fill this up with just enough room to fold it over a couple of times to keep the heat in, wait 6 to 10 minutes, open it back up, you've got a full meal. Simplest one to do if you want a warm pasta lunch. Okay, before we get into the actual recipes and how we're going to mix up our food, better quickly talk about how we're going to pack our food. Now, firstly, you can buy these aluminium foil bags on famous websites, and I'll put a link in the description below for them. They are aluminium foil, they weigh about 10 grams per packet. They have a resealable part at the top, and you can pour boiling water in them and they don't melt. The other good thing about them, so resealable part at the top, once you put that resealable seal in, what you can actually do, because it's foil, you can run an iron or a heat press against that edge, and you know it's completely sealed. There's also a little rip at the top that you can just rip and pull off, and these are brilliant. I think I bought about 50 of them online for about €25. Well worth it, 50p each, repack all your meals in there. The other one on the packaging is once you've separated these, once you've poured your boiling water into them to rehydrate the meals or to cook the meals, what you need to do is keep that package warm. It is only thin foil, so what we've got is a cosy. Now, I haven't used the super lightweight ones. There are some out there for about 50 odd euros. This one weighs 30 grams, and I bought 2 of these. They're freezer ones, but they still contain the silver metal, so they're going to keep some heat in. I bought 2 of these for about €8. So what we do, repackage our food in the silver parts. We then add boiling water, slide these in our cosy, do up our cosy, leave that for 10 minutes, rehydrates the food. Okay, breakfast time. What we're going to have is we're going to have some oats. We're going to have some milk powder already produced into that. And all we're going to do is I'm going to show you how much I would put in for my daily breakfast. So you can get these oat little packets online. super good. You get different flavours ones as well. I think this is a cinnamon one. So with the cinnamon ones, what I found is don't add sugar. With the plain ones, I usually add a big spoonful of sugar just to make it taste a bit sweeter. So oats go into our new silver foil bags. Then what we've got to do is, this is just normal milk powder you can get everywhere. A big clump of this milk powder, put it in, and that is our breakfast. What we do have on this, so I'm going to cook this and I'm going to show you how much it makes, and I'm going to show you how I cook it. Okay, so that's our oats. What I forgot to mention is when I'm making this and not actually cooking it at exactly the same time, what I'd do is I'd write oats breakfast on it. If you've got everything in the same coloured packets without any notes on it, you don't know if it's lunch or dinner or whatever it is in there. So I always write oats or breakfast on there and I know what I'm getting. So I've just boiled some water. I've done it in the kettle today because I'm not outside. And all we're going to do is, I'm going to show you, it's 125 millilitres of boiling water. We put this into our nice silver packet. Use our spoon that we just measured it around with. Give it a super good stir. And make sure it's all starting to get together. Yeah, it's looking good. It will be a bit lumpy in places. I found all backpacking meals go a bit lumpy, but it'll be fine. And then what we do, close that up. So it will swell a bit because it gets all the gas in there from the boiling water. And what we do, put it in our cosy, zip up the cosy, and then we're going to wait. Okay, I've just emptied it into a bowl just for the purposes of this. You can see, nice bit of porridge. I'll show you a photo of it in a minute. And what we've got here is what I like to do, dried fruits. Now you can get berries, you can get mango, what I like is banana. So I like banana on my porridge. And all I do is get some dried bananas out, sprinkle them across the top, make it look nice. And that is my porridge for the day. Breakfast done. Super easy one. This is super tasty. I like doing this meal when I'm on the go and can't stop for a long time. So, some nice crackers, some nice hard cheese. I recommend some Parmesan. Sprinkle it onto the cracker. And then what you've got is your sausage, pre-cooked. You can get chicken, you can get turkey, you can get other meats. Pre-cooked, slice it up, put it on your crackers. Now, your crackers are very easy to break and you might just end up with crumbs. So what I do is I have one of these very lightweight little boxes. I lay my crackers out in there. I cut up my sausage and I put the cheese on the top of that, close it up. I know it's not going to get crushed. I've got a meal super handy and keep going for that day. Nice and tasty. Okay, next tasty meal, instant mash. I love a bit of instant mash. You get these in packets. What I've got here is one packet that is 96 grams worth. It also says add 400 millilitres of water, so I know that this is for 2 people. So what we're going to do, we're going to roughly, you don't have to be too serious with weighing it and halving it out, unless you want to, but I'm going to put half of this into this packet here. See, a bit more. And all we do with the mashed potato, that's about half of the packet gone in. All we do with the mashed potato, if I don't know how to do it whilst I'm underway or I've forgotten, I always write it on the bag. It's a good tip, that. So we've got the mashed potato in there. We're going to add 200 millilitres of boiling water. And that goes. And also give that a good stir up. And really with the mashed potato, you want to keep stirring it. If not, it goes kind of a bit flaky in areas. So it's almost instant. It is called instant mash. So there's not too much of a problem in cooking this. And it doesn't take too long. You might not even need your cosy for this because it is super quick. And just keep stirring it for 1 to 2 minutes until it goes to the consistency you like. What I'm going to do is put it out straight away into a bowl so you can see how much you get from that packet. And also some ideas to flavour it, because just eating mashed potato is going to be insane. So let's do this and see how much mash we've got out of this. Look at that, huge amounts. So made a bit of a mess doing that, but huge amounts I'm putting it into a bowl, whereas I'd actually just eat it out of the foil packet. So super amount of mashed potato for half the packet of that, and 200 millilitres of water. And what I do is, where I'm using the sausage in these videos, you can also use pre-cooked chicken, pre-cooked turkey, any other meats that you fancy, but I'm just using the sausage at the moment. So I'm going to add some sausage on top of this, just for demonstration purposes. Cut a few bits up. And then put these on top, sprinkle them on top. Gives bangers and mash if you're English, almost. We need some gravy for that, but bangers and mash. And then I've got these fried onions that come in a little pot. Sprinkle them over. A beautiful sausage and mash undergone on the way. And that's your meal. Super quick, super easy, instant mash and bangers. Okay, another super simple backpacking meal that I really like, couscous. Now, you get these in little bags. This is supposed to be one portion. What I like to do is repackage it in our silver foil bags so that we can actually cook it on the go. So I've already wrote on this one what I need to do and what the meal is. Pour that in there. That is our meal ready to go. That's it. Okay, boiled up some water on the kettle again. And this is 300 millilitres of water. Just pour it into our silver packet for our couscous. There we go, made a bit of a mess, but oh well. Then we can give it a bit of a stir, just to make sure it's got water in it. So I use another spoon. Give that a bit of a stir in there. Yeah, not too much. Couscous seems to not need as much stirring as the oats. So, or any other meal. So then we reseal it, 300 millilitres of water into our cosy, and we close our cosy. Then we wait 6 minutes. Okay, we've left this just over 6 minutes. Doesn't need not much more than that. Sometimes finished a little bit early. So let's have a look. Oh, yeah, pulled it open. That is looking great. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to show you how much couscous you get out of here. This is more than enough for one person. More than enough. I mean, there's tons. In fact, there's a little bit more in there. Doesn't actually fit in the bowl. Now, what I like doing with the couscous as well, some of them are really super tasty and flavoury, but what I like doing, this is just some store-bought, already cooked, pre-cooked sausage. I like adding some sausage to it just to give a bit of meat. You can add as much as you like, or as little as you like. I also like adding, got some already grated Parmesan cheese. This already should be in your backpack for your cheese and crackers anyway. So we just use a little bit of the Parmesan cheese, sprinkle it on the top, just to give us a nice and tasty meal. I'd normally use feta cheese on couscous actually, but because you've already got this in the backpack, I'm going to use this. And that's it. Okay, backpacking and hiking. Here's a meal, ramen noodles. If you like backpacking and hiking, you better like ramen noodles because everyone uses them. Why? They're quite tasty, they weigh absolutely nothing, and they're super cheap. What I have found after a few days on ramen noodles, even though they do different flavours, is I want something else. I want something more for my lunch. So some ideas to make these better. Now, all you do to make these is you put them in your pot, you boil some water, you add the lid, wait 5 minutes, you've got a meal. Some ideas to add to these though. Get some store-bought already pre-cooked sausage. You can also get chicken and turkey and slice that up, add it to it right at the end after your 5 minutes with the noodles, and also some crispy onions. You can buy these are about €1.50 in a big jar like that. Sprinkle them into it, gives you a bit more crunch as you're tasting them. You've got your ramen noodles with a bit of protein in there and some fried onions. Okay, tasty meal here, tomato soup. This is an instant packet of tomato soup. You can get other different flavours in your supermarket. I've just bought this one. What I found is 500 millilitres of water to make this soup. That's too much for me in one sitting. It's all right if you're sharing it with your friend, but if you're on your own, 250 mils is more than enough. And what I do is I like to separate these packets into two. Another reason for that, because you can also do something else with tomato soup and all these sauces. Boil up some pasta, however much you want, in your Tokes pot, rid of the bit of the water, add some fresh water and add one of these packets, mix that up with the pasta. You've got a tomato flavoured pasta, or whichever flavour you choose. So, instant soup. Okay, that was a quick intro into how we can make backpacking food super cheap, super easy and still lightweight, get all those calories in. If you've got any other ideas for meals, put them in the comments below, and then we can build up a plan for what we all take backpacking. If you like what we're trying to do, please subscribe, please give us a thumbs up and like what we're actually trying to achieve here, helps the channel grow. Many thanks,